Hey everybody, we're talking about chapter 7, which is on supplemental research. So, the parts that jumped out at me and that will probably interest you, or that I hope will interest you, are that you should do all the other stuff before you do this. Some people like doing this stuff before they do all of the analysis, but sometimes that means you're unduly influenced by other people's opinions of the play before you dive in and figure out what you think about this play. And if you don't analyze it first, sometimes you unconsciously adopt someone else's point of view on it. And of course, the world is interested, I think, in what you think as an individual and an artist. So that's why this is chapter 7 and not chapter 1. Okay. Oh, and they point out that part of that is that historical perspectives, like if you read a review of The Glass Menagerie before you've done all of this analysis from when the play was first produced, and that's going to be 70 years old, well, they reviewed plays in a different way. They had different audiences. I've got this tree is dropping all kinds of things on me. So you're looking at bringing a play to life for an audience today. So those things can supplement your analysis, hence the title Supplemental Research, but they shouldn't be primary research for you. Okay. Oh, yes. So you're going to want to research St. Louis during the time of the play. My husband said he actually visited the apartment that Tennessee Williams lived in, and on which he based the apartment that the Wingfield family lives in this play, which is totally cool. But as they write in the middle of page 88, it's your job to analyze the play as written, not to demonstrate your homework for the audience. Sometimes people, when they're researching, will find out some cool detail that they really want to include in the play, but it doesn't actually fit in the world of the play that they're helping to build, and it's actually just distracting or weird, but doesn't support. So anything like that, make sure it actually supports what you are doing with the play rather than demonstrating your homework to the audience. Oh yes, when you're working on a show, you may want to, as they say at the bottom of 91, research other plays written by this playwright. When I directed Eurydice, I had read a few other plays that Sarah Ruhl, the playwright, wrote, but I decided to read some more, and I read a book that was kind of a memoir of hers, and it helped me understand the play a lot better that I was directing, and about her impulse for writing it. So that's a nice thing to do too, and then you get to practice your script analysis skills. Oh yes, page 92, they talk about theatrical conditions. So different time periods have different theatrical conditions. I'm not a huge fan of blackouts between scenes. It's not that I never do them when I direct, but if I can avoid them, I do, because I think it's kind of an old-fashioned theatrical convention that people used 50 years ago, but I don't see used as a matter of course now, or like without a really good reason to do so. So if you're talking about like a Greek play that may have been staged over 2,000 years ago, well, it's really good to figure out what those conventions were, because the Greek audience back then in ancient Greece understood the convention of this chorus of people that was talking to the main character as though they were one person. We look at that now and we're like, what the heck is that, right? So you want to understand the conventions of the period, not necessarily to just replicate them in your version of a Greek play that you might be dramaturging or adapting or whatever, but so you have more options, okay? Great, and then the last thing for this chapter is a reminder on page 93 that there's a lot of bleep on the internet, right? Someone with no theater degree or someone who's also an undergraduate at a different university could put their PowerPoint online. It's not going to have as much credibility as if you find someone who's a theater scholar or a professional theater practitioner or something like that, okay? So don't just take anything you see online as credible research about a play. Case by case basis, see who put it up, who they are, what are their credentials, are they an expert or are they a fan who doesn't necessarily know a lot about theater? Okay, that's it.